This is the Flower Street Cottage motif right here. This is a lot of fun because you can paint this however you would like. I'm going to start on the roof over here, and I'm going to put kind of this coppery green, or a green that would indicate maybe there was a copper roof at some point. Like you would take this and put it in here. And we'll kind of fill this in across the way, and you can do whatever you want. So when I add that in secondly, then it doesn't come out as bright as some of those lines that I started with. My brush is having issues here. So I'll come in here and get that green laid in there, and oops, put some of that green in here, and the rest, or copper. Nice turquoise is fun, so I went out of the lines there. You can just clean your brush off and kind of scrub that and dab that back and clean it up. And I've got this on my tropical set, some hibiscus and tiki to get that copper color. And I'm going to come in here and do that for the chimney, and when that roof is dry, you can add this right here. I'm actually going to go around that sill just like so, and then I can go ahead and paint a few things that have that similar paint color to them while I've got it going. And this little planter right here. So I'm going to add a little bit of brown into my chimney. A few other places just to give it some texture. Maybe I'll add a little green to that. Alright, so now I'm going to paint my little flowers up here. I'm going to do a little bit of yellow and may put some of this kind of sort of silly, but because it's kind of in the season's book for March, I'm making it a little bit more of a green yellow. And I'll just dab in a little bit of that there. So I'm going to kind of lay down a little bit of, just imagining this is kind of stucco here. Kind of go around this and sort of changing the weight of the amount of pigment that's going in different places does make it look like stucco. And so you can see I'm depositing some here and there and brushing it in other places. So I did go out of the lines there. You really can't see it, but I'm going to come in here and kind of loosen that up with a wet brush and take that away. And then I'm going to work on my shutters, are like a black gray. You can test that out here. I'll come in here with kind of a silvery gray look at first, and I may make them darker on a second round. And gonna have like a brown black piece for these two and around this door here. And get that stoop. And I think I want to make my door this, I think I'm going to make it green, a nice green color. Might add a little black to that. Ooh, it's kind of nice. So I have 4 adult sons, and they have wives and girlfriends, and we met up at a coffee shop, and we all got this painting, and we all painted it so completely different. It was a ton of fun to see how everybody picked their own style. Okay, and maybe I'll use a little bit of this to kind of come inside. Oh, jeez. Use a little bit of this to come in here and sort of make that lantern look like it's lit. Maybe I'll just use Hurricane with lots of water to just come in here and barely touch inside these window panes so that it looks like it's glass and there's reflection. And I gotta get the ones up here, and I'm gonna make that a window too. And then I'm gonna come over here and put some green in this plant. That's a very bright green, so I'll take a little bit of tiki over top of that. But it's super fun because this whole thing is just about being whimsical. And now I'll go and just add an extra little stripe under each one of these lines here. Now that it's dry, it'll stay put. Just like so. And now that my background is also dry, I can add a little bit of shadow under here, and maybe a little bit just to the side here. And let's do some next to the whites. Underneath here, get a little stronger. I'll come back to that and we'll go underneath the eave. Right there, underneath here. And just adding a little bit in here for interest. And I think we'll need some shadow along here. Just tapping in a little bit of gray to tone down the white of the paper. And then in front of my house, I have, you don't have to do this, but I just kind of put a little thin bit of water here. We have to go do that greenery on the side as well in a sec. And I can always add in a little, wow, that's very bright. Not exactly what I wanted there. So I'll take that back. And put a little brown natural. Okay, so now we've got our greenery on the side over here. Let me test that out. So bright. Okay, so I'll go in and just touch in a little bit of that. Green here. You're welcome to add in some flowers. I've seen people do that where they make a leaf more like a flower with a bright color. If you're doing this in March, you could just take your pencil and make a little clover. That could be fun. All right, and what we know is that some of the back of this is, whoop, too soon, is that stucco color, but I think I'm okay. I mean, that was a little soon to go in there because it's so wet. And I think in my original, I just added a little bit of shadow across in here a bit.